T. Graham Brown. After nearly 400 appearances, he's the newest inductee of the Grand Ole Opry. 13 studio albums under his belt so far, plus a new one coming out later this year. Country #1 records? Check. Lots of top hits? Check. Crossover music? Check. Roots and blues? That's T. And then there's that voice.
Good morning, Little Radio. It's Cactus Jack. What can I do for you?
Yo, Cacti. How you been getting along?
Things awesome. I'm living the dream. Almost 70 years old, and I finally made it. I get to talk to all the cool people on the radio.
That's all. How old are you?
69. Now, actually,
me too.
I saw your birth date on a bio, and I'm actually 3 months ahead of you. I was born July 54.
Wow.
Yeah. How'd we get here?
And we're still standing.
Still running wide open.
Heck yeah, man. I was just in Memphis last night. I'm running pretty strong too. I was with TG last weekend in Houston, right outside of Houston.
Yeah, he told me about that yesterday. He said you all been doing a lot of stuff together.
Yeah, we cross paths every now and then.
And then
we don't do a ton of stuff together, but we do, occasionally.
Well, a week from Saturday, you're bringing him with you to the Kentucky Opry in Draftonville. I'm really looking forward to that. He told us a little bit about the show. What can you tell us about it?
Oh, we have fun, man. We get to work with each other occasionally. I don't know how many times a year, but we have a good time. It's just wall-to-wall hits. I mean, TG had a ton of hits, I get up there and sing my stuff, and then he sings his stuff. It's a good show. People are always satisfied. No filler, It's all killer, no filler, baby.
There you go. Well, I talked to him about his music history. You've had 20-some chart singles, 3 #1, so there's a lot of hits there. CMAs know who you are, and the Grammys know who you are. And then there's the healthy listing of voiceovers that people talk about and commercial jingles. And you got a YouTube channel, a crazy busy 2024 tour, solo and with TG, as we was talking about. And then you're coming to our Kentucky Opry April 27th. Plus, there's that Sirius XM Prime Country Channel 58, T. Graham Brown's Live Wire. I heard you had a special guest here a couple weeks ago. I saw that video on YouTube. You want to tell us about that?
Oh, man. Well, they surprised me. I was interviewing Vince Gill for my Live Wire show, and at the end of it, he told me it was all a big setup, that the Grand Ole Opry had sent him over there to ask me if I wanted to be a member, and I just cried like a baby, man. I've been wanting that for so long, and Sheila, it was mainly seeing Sheila so happy was the best part of it. And so, yeah, man, I've been going out there for 40 years, and they finally going to make me a member, and we're really very thankful for that, Cactus.
That was a very moving thing, what I saw there. That was that might have been the best moment of country music I've seen. It was really something. What else have you got going on this year?
Well, let me think, man. The grass just about needs cutting again. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Me too.
Cut grass. My old snapper riding lawnmower that I'd had for about 30 years was starting to give me some trouble. So a couple of years ago, I was in this Trace Atkins video, and all during the day of the shoot, it was in the summertime, and I was complaining about how I was going to have to go get me a new lawnmower. Dang, if they didn't take me to Home Depot and got me a lawnmower.
All right. So well, what'd you get?
Just a Troy built. And I get out there and I just cut grass, man. And I got a 22-inch cut Craftsman push mower too that I push. So I don't just ride, I push too.
Well,
and I weed eat too.
Yeah.
And you know what I was doing just earlier today? Vacuuming the house. So I'm a domesticated guy.
Your wife married up, didn't she?
And I wash the dishes too.
Wow.
Not in the dishwasher, but in the sink.
Yeah, by hand. You're a very rare man.
I'm very rare.
Raised out there on RFD
Yeah, 30529.
I don't know. I'm a little weird. My favorite T. Graham Brown song still to these days is "Brilliant Conversationalist." I have to go on YouTube to look at that one, but that was my favorite song you did. I really like that one.
Oh, good, man. I sang that one last night. Every show.
You had some killer stuff that I really enjoyed. My favorite one to sing myself is "Don't Go to Strangers." That is just such a great message in that song. It's an excellent song.
That's a good one.
It is.
Written by the late great Russell Smith, who is also the guy who wrote and sang Third Rate Romance, Low Rent.
Amazing Rhythm Aces, yes sir. Yeah.
Amazing Rhythm Aces, yes.
He was another blues guy, kind of like you, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was an R&B kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a good guy. I used to write songs with him. He was real shorty, but he was real stocky. He was built like a fire plug.
As the conversation continued, I asked T what his favorite song was of all the ones he'd performed, and this one, really no surprise to me. T. Graham Brown talking about his favorite song and how it has affected people ever since he recorded it.
I don't know which one. Probably Wine into Water, I guess, I would say. If I had to pick one.
Many people choose that one.
Right. You know, I had a guy, I was just going to say, man, Wine into Water, it's really, God has used that to help people get sobered up. A guy came up to me last night and said, man, in 1998, when Wine into Water first came out, he said, I was laying in the gutter, man. I just want you to know that song straightened my whole life out. And there he was with his wife that stuck with him, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So, yeah, Wine into Water special.
God used T. Graham Brown the way he uses a lot of us without us ever suspecting it.
That's it. You never know what God's got up his sleeve, buddy.
Now, brother, I'm tickled to death to get a chance to talk to you again. I'm hoping to see you April 27th. I'm going to be there. You're going to be a busy guy. I'll try to see if I can get my way worked in there.
Yeah, just grab me.
All right.
Are you going to introduce us?
I'm not sure if I'll introduce you, but I'll be up there. I don't know if you remember last year when we did that. We were playing How Cool Is It and How Big Is It and all that kind of stuff, and you started joining us in from behind the curtain. And the crowd loved that. There's people still talking about that one. When we mentioned you were coming this year, they're saying, man, that was so much fun.
We're going to have fun, man. I like the Kentucky Opry. It'll be good.
We're looking forward to seeing you there. I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'm going to take some of these excerpts here and use them on my YouTube channel. I want to see if it's okay to use those and to use them on,
of course,
to use your artwork off your websites and your videos and so on and so forth, screenshots and whatever. I always ask everybody, I don't want to blindside anybody, and, I'm not that gotcha guy. I'm going to, if I'm doing anything, I want you to know about it twice.
Use me till you use me up, man.
All right, brother. We appreciate that.
I'm your slave.
That sounds like that's your wife's job there. and you're cutting the grass. We're about to wrap this up, I guess. We've covered everything, I think. But if there's anything you want to cover or anything you want to ask the folks or tell the folks, we'll get that on the air here. So take it away.
Well, Cactus Jack, thanks for having me on your show. God bless you. God bless all of your listeners, and God bless the United States of America.
Amen.
And that says it.
T, it's such an honor to talk to you. We thank you very much, and we will see you.
Well, that was the radio chat from April with T. Graham Brown. We talked for a few minutes more about our personal likes and lawn equipment such as that, and a little bit about an upcoming music project from him and some collaborators you might have heard about. We'll dive into that a bit later. For now, let's look around the show, before and after, and a few scenes from T's latest performance at Kentucky Opry. Then, we'll wrap this up with new pictures from the CMA Fest hot off the presses. Stay tuned. Well, as a part of the TNT show here at the Kentucky Opry, we get a chance to hang out with one of the young entertainers. You know, we have Chili Dog on the channel from time to time, and Billy Hubbard and some of the other young bloods in country music. This young lady is Macy Jane, and she is kind of an heir here at the Kentucky Opry, but she's a great singer, a great recording artist. Been doing this, I guess, ever since you can remember, right?
Since I was 6 years old.
One of my buds and one of our new up-and-coming artists on Country Conversation with Cactus Jack. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
This is what we call the entertainment huddle in Kentucky Opry terms.
Your job over there, Sierra. Don't let anybody know we're here. It's a secret conclave.
Yes, sir.
No.
Are you Roy or Coy or Bubba? Or are you that little redhead?
Hard to be in two places at once.
How are ya?
We're doing better now, y'all.
Over 31 #1 hit records. And they're going to see, Glenn, where are you? Where is he? Come on here, buddy. I love this guy. He's got a great testimony. He sings great. And you're going to enjoy the band. I bet you have to put the band back there. Wave at them, guys. Let's get them. TJ back.
Oh, man. This is a very smart crowd. Very smart. Well, let me see. You know, when I moved to Nashville, I started out singing songwriter demos. And I sang a bunch of them. And so I sang the demo on this next song, and they tried to get it recorded. They couldn't get it recorded, so they just set it on a shelf. And a couple of years later, I had a record deal with Capitol Records, and we were looking for songs. And I thought, hey man, what about this one? And played it for them. And they thought, yeah, man. So if you boys are ready, let's tell it like it used to be. So I did this benefit for autism for the Vanderbilt University has a program, and we had a bunch of people. I got to see all my buddies. Jimmy Fortune was there, and he jumped up and sang "Wine in the Water" with me. It was great. And Darryl Worley was there, and Wade Hayes was there, and I say that to tell y'all this. Just about every time I sing, I tell it like it used to be. I flash back to when it came out. So there was a bunch of us that came out the same year. Randy Travis and Keith Whitley, Marty Stewart, and Dwight Yoakam, and me, Patty Loveless. Marty Stewart and I had a love fest at the Opry. Marty, I don't get to see him as much as I wish. Before, when we see each other, we connect. We go way back, man. We went through a lot together in the early days, and he's such a good guy. And I got to see Susie Bacchus was there. I heard him say she's gonna be here. And you know who I got to see that I hadn't seen in 20 years, probably? Do y'all remember Gail Davies? Man, I got to love on her too. She came up to me. I wouldn't recognize. She said, "You don't recognize me, Gail, man." Because we used to do shows together. I said, "Honey, I'm gonna listen to Gail Davies all the way home tonight." And I did. I got in the car and got on YouTube, pumped it through this big speaker, and listened to Gail Davies. She had some good. She was the first woman to produce her own. She was kind of a trailblazer. The record companies didn't really like her because she had her own mind. She got some great hits. All right, so this next one would have been in the 90s sometime. Can't remember. Can we kick it off? Are you ready? I love to cut my grass. I've been cutting grass all my life. I started out 50 cents a yard. My mama took a picture of me, barefooted in short pants, no shirt, reaching up to grab the handle of the push mower. That's how long I've been cutting grass. How's that look? Of course, I don't guess you cut grass barefooted. What a good idea. So anyway, I had me a snapper. That was good. That snapper. I had that snapper about 30 years, and it was a 33-inch cut. I love that snapper. I just got tired of putting the belt on it, man. Every time I cut grass, I'd have to put the belt on it. So anyway, Trace Atkins invited me to be in a music video of his about going fishing on Sunday. So I was out in the boat on this little bitty pond fishing. So that was my role. So the whole day I was complaining about my snapper. And so I got home and Dang if they didn't show up in the driveway and said, let's go to Home Depot. So I went down there and they bought me a ride home. So I'm back in business. I got it's a 33-inch cut Troy built, and I got a 22-inch cut Craftsman push mower. I like to push when I can. So we were in Michigan doing shows, and we were in this little motel. There was this road, kind of like Route 66, with all those funky little motels on it. So on one side of the road was Lake Huron. On the other side of the road was these little motels in a road. So we were standing. The bus dumped me off, and they went on the sound check. So I hadn't checked in or nothing. I was just walking around. It was really nice, restored, probably 18, 20 rooms in it. It was a really nice little place. So anyway, I'm walking around, and I walked around back, and there it said, man, a 48-inch cut Craftsman. So I went up to the front desk. They had this desk, they had a counter, and this young couple, and they had a baby too. And the guy's name was Uriah, I remember. They lived in the back room behind the front desk. Anyway, so I come around and knock on the door, and he's a big old, all tatted up, big old guy. Great Christian guy, it turns out. But anyway, he wanted to know what I wanted. And I said, well, I noticed you got a 48-inch cut Craftsman back there. Can I cut your grass? And he said, what? I said, you got that lawnmower. I sure would love to cut your grass. And he said, I don't know. But I talked him into it, and he said, well, I'm going to have to go get it and drive it around the block because it's too wide to get through our little fence back there. So you got to wait on it. So I was waiting in front of the desk, and here he comes, around, pulls up, parks it. And they had a big old yard. They had fire pits around. They had a bunch of trees. They had a volleyball court. They had and the ditch and the shoulder of the road, boy, it looked good. So anyway, I got on that lawnmower. He said, do you know what you're doing? And I said, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I said, now about your trees out there, how do you cut around them? He said, I use a weed. And I said, man, you ain't gonna need it. I'm gonna go around and trees. So I got out there, man, and for about an hour, I cut his grass. I mean, I had it looking sharp. And I pulled back up in front of the front desk, and he's standing out there. And I said, well, what do you think? He said, man, it looks great. And I said, you like it? He said, yeah, I like it. So he reached back pocket and took out a $20 bill and handed it to me. And I said, man, I don't want your money. He thought I was a bum. Because I hadn't checked in or anything, He thought I was like a guy wanting some wine on money. So anyway, we had a good laugh about it. But anyway, I love cooking. That is pretty funny. And you know, we stayed in touch, actually. So, do what? I'm available. Oh man, that's good. That's good. Here's the YouTube tip number 2. There was a guy named Russell Smith. He passed away a couple years ago. Great country songwriter, great singer. He had a band called the Amazing Rhythm Aces. And he's the guy that wrote and sang that song, Third Rate Romance, Low Rent Rendezvous. That's who Russell Smith is. He's built like a fire plug, man. Great guy. And we used to write songs together. So Russell Smith. Go on YouTube and look up his album, The End Is Not in Sight. It's full of country hits that he wrote. He's a great singer. Trust me, you'll like it. So anyway, he played me this next song, and we went down and lost the shows, and we cut it, and they put it out with number 1. It's called Don't Go to Strangers. Kick it off back there.
Okay. 9 years ago on my birthday.
And I gotta have it. Well, I'll get it in the dressing room when I come back.
Well, old Waylon said, if we only knew we were going to live this long, we'd have took better care of ourselves.
Well, that's right. That's right. You got to deal with the consequences of it.
T. Graham Brown, my fellow lawnmower man, my hero of the. What did you get? You got a Troy bill, right?
A Troy bill, yes.
I've got a collection of junk, but I love them all. And the way mine works is when I get one that quits running, I just shove it off in the pile and go get one that runs, and I'll fix them later.
Yeah, well, hey, luckily I got 2 that run.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm getting the
Now,
parts
it
the rest
takes
of them
me
tomorrow.
a few pulls on that Craftsman, but eventually cranks up.
That Toro, that Snapper was the best one. And they're reproducing those. They're selling them new under a Craftsman brand.
Really?
Yeah, they're old rear engine riders and 32-inch cut.
Yeah, those Snappers are always great.
Oh, we're way off the subject here.
Yes.
T has worked hard all day today. He put on a stellar show here at the Kentucky Opry in Draftonville. And what can I say? You know,
We had fun.
I'm a big fan. I love everything you do. Thank you for getting on the YouTube channel with me. What's your YouTube channel? Is it just T. Graham Brown?
T. Graham Brown.
Because they pop up all the time and I watch them, but I've never really looked to see who it
Yeah.
was. I'm probably subscribed. But
You
anyway,
need to.
I will.
They're adding stuff all the time. I got to be honest with you. I don't fool with it. Somebody else does it for us.
That's okay. We love you anyway. Mine is Country Conversations with Cactus Jack. You'll be popping up on there probably in about 2 or 3 days. I've already gone on your channel and I've screenshot some of the stuff, all the songs you talked about tonight. A lot of the stories, if it's okay, I'll use those on it.
What else can I say?
Probably
T.
go up to
Graham
the front
Brown.
line and
He's
let
now
them
been inducted
go
into the
through
Grand Ole Opry officially
description
during
and
a
find the
ceremony
song.
in May
Thank you so
after
much.
nearly 400 appearances and a tad
come
over
back next
40
year.
years during his
God
career.
bless you.
And
Right
as we
quick,
talked
country
about earlier,
continues
T is
to
still running wide open. He's got his own tour schedule, plus he's got the TNT schedules in concert with T.G. Shepherd. And now he has regular Grand Ole Opry dates, and he's working every day of CMA Fest 2024. He has a total of 12 studio albums so far, and he's now putting the finishing touches on a collaboration with the likes of Tanya Tucker, Delbert McClinton, Winona, Randy Houser, and a host of blues singers. Who knows who else? It's due out August 2nd, and last week, with the surprise, he released a couple of singles from the project. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay with Randy Houser, and The Dark End of the Street with fellow legend Tanya Tucker. And that's just the surprises since I talked to him in April. T. Graham Brown, still running wide open. And if you do get a chance to see T. Graham Brown in concert, or if you get a chance to see the TNT show, I highly recommend that you do so. You will not be sorry. You will be highly entertained. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Let's all pray for one another. Please hang in there. And if you want to see the T.G. Shepherd video, we have one on that. The link is here. Check out the T.G. Shepherd and the rest of my videos here. Thanks for watching Country Conversations with Cactus Jack. We'll see you soon.